Which one is it?
You must choose. But choose wisely. For as the true Grail will bring you life, the false Grail will take it from you.
Well, you know the actor Robert Edison, who played the knight at the end, that extraordinary monk-like figure, just guarding this one great secret. He was such a wonderful actor, Robert. Fantastic voice too, wonderful rolling voice. And he came in and I thought he lent a tremendous gravitas to that part. But at the same time, he was able to take that wonderful line he chose poorly in such a dry way that it was really funny. When I saw it, it got an absolute belly laugh.
He chose poorly.
When Elsa takes the Grail and she tries to flee, the minute she crosses the seal, she's thrown off her feet by an upheaval. She falls and drops the Grail. That's when the crack forms.
On the different parts of the set, I think we had about 5 gimbals, what we call gimbals, and that is when the ground can sort of rock and roll. And they were all hydraulically controlled, so we could give the appearance of an earthquake. And then we had a gap that appeared in the earthquake, which Alison Doody falls down when she's trying to get the golden chalice.
And the great moment in that movie for me is the moment where first Indy is holding Elsa, and Indy says to Elsa, "Give up the Grail. You know, honey, I can't hold you. Give it up." And Elsa keeps trying to reach greedily for the Grail cup. And of course, the glove comes off her hand, and Indy can't save her, and she falls to her death. All of a sudden, as Indy almost slips over, the father grabs him. Now, the roles are reversed. Here's father holding son, and Indy has the same kind of moment. You know, he's being attracted to the Grail. And the greed that Elsa felt in her heart suddenly suffuses through Indy. And all through the movie, you'll recall, Dad only calls him, you know, Junior. The whole film, he tortures him by calling him Junior. But for the first time, he says Indiana.
Indiana? Indiana? Let it go.
And that stops Indy. And then Indy takes his other hand and he's pulled to safety. And that was the bonding moment between father and son.
The thing I liked the most about the film is in the end, the real pleasure was in finding each other and throwing the Grail away and realizing that, you know, Indiana being with his father was more important than any of this other stuff that was going on. Was a great ending because it didn't have anything to do with the object. In the end, we always have to get rid of the object somehow. That's always a problem. And this was the perfect way of getting rid of the object. It was the perfect way of telling the story.
So the drama of Last Crusade doesn't end with a truck chase or a climactic upheaval of special effects and ghosts and spirits, but it ends in the most personal way, more personal than any of the previous Raiders movies, where Indy and the father have a meeting of the minds and a meeting of the hearts. And then he's rescued, and we go off to our little epilogue and go save Marcus Brody, whose horse runs away with him.
Indy, Henry, follow me. I know the way. Ah!
Well, that's getting there, Denham. That's getting there. We got the horse to move a little bit that time. Well, I like movies that are all about craft and collaboration. You know, films that kind of rely on the best of all departments. You know, the best plasterers, the best electricians, the best painters, you know, the best special effects experts, the best property masters. And when it all comes together and you don't do it in the computer, and I'm not being Luddite when I say this, but when you're really having to rely on all the different departments, just like old Hollywood used to do and old England used to do, to realize the director and the producer and the writer's vision and the actor's vision. That's good old-fashioned movie making, and I love that.
That was great. That was really great.
We had an extraordinarily talented group of people. I mean, the whole crew was, you know, first rate, and in a lot of cases we've all worked together before, so, you know, it's a kind of a fun reunion. We all like each other. We all get along really well. People can sort of anticipate everybody's extremely professional and talented, and that's always an exciting experience. And it's always a thrill to see Harrison in that outfit. You know, it's like he becomes that character and you walk on the set and there he is, you know. And it's such an icon that it's like, oh wow. It's like no time has passed at all.
Oh, this is the way I make my living. This is what I do for a living.
I think the audience likes a character who is both an academic and an adventurer. I think what's probably the most important contribution that the character has made, that is part of the character, is his tenacity, his unwillingness to give up, his zeal for the hunt, and the pleasure that he takes in going amazing places, seeing bizarre and amazing things, and solving the mysteries that lay before him.